Now we are going to discuss interactive methods. Under interactive methods, we have direct method, communicative language teaching, community language learning, silent way, suggestopedia, and total physical response. Direct method. This method was established in Germany and France around 1900, known as natural method, and target language to be learned through imitation. It relies on step-by-step progression. Key features of this method include focuses on the use of only the target language in the classroom. It's the target language which is emphasized, and everyday vocabulary is taught. Everyday vocabulary, the words which are used in one's everyday life, is taught. Speaking and listening, these two are the primary skills and purpose of the direct method. Question-answer pattern is used. Questions are asked. Learner provide answers, and through reinforcement, they develop. Grammar is taught inductively with the teacher sharing examples, not deductively. Communicative language teaching emerged as popular approach in 1970s and early 1980s. Stresses interaction as both the means and the ultimate goal. It's a shift from cognitive to socio-cognitive aspect of language learning, where it's not the mental processes, rather the social aspect of the language which is emphasized. Key features include number of features introduced by David Noonan. The first important feature is that it's an emphasis on learning to communicate through interaction in the target language. So idea is to provide learners with an opportunity to interact in the target language. The introduction of authentic text is there into the learning situation. Since this method emphasizes communicative language methodology, therefore, the introduction of authentic text is reinforced in the learning situation, where learner is exposed to the authentic and real text for understanding and communicating. The provision of opportunities for learners to focus not only on the language, but also on the learning processes itself. So it's not only the language, but the very process. And that process is introduced through activities to the learners. An enhancement of the learner's own personal experiences as important contributing elements to classroom learning. Bringing in the real-life situation to classroom, facilitating learners' own learning through personal experiences. An attempt to link classroom language learning with language activation outside the classroom. So language is used for communication purposes not only inside the classroom, but having it reinforced outside the classroom as well. Community language learning, proposed by Charles Acorn in 1970, which sees teacher as counselor, learner as a member of a community. Interaction is key to learning in this methodology. The key features of this method include students are clients and teachers are counselor. Teachers are there to provide counseling and treat students as their clients. There's a mutual trust, and that trust is vital for encouraging students for the development of language. Learning with the help of native language, teacher provides the translation. So in order to build a mutual trust, the teacher facilitates and uses sometimes mother tongue by providing the translation also. Silent way, introduced by Caleb Gattegno in 1950. This method advocates teacher as silent, learner and active participant. Similar to that is that of suggestopedia, which is introduced by a psychotherapist, Georgy Lozanov, which suggests a method of removing learning blocks. Key features of silent way include Learner discovers or creates, rather remembers or repeats. Since learner is an active participant, therefore he or she focuses on the creativity and discovering, rather remembering or repeating. Uses colorful charts or visuals for learning. Colorful charts and visuals are used to facilitate learning and make learning more colorful. Facilitates problem solving by involving the target language material. The learner, since being in charge of this process, solves problem by getting himself or herself involved in the target language material. Key features of Suggestopedia. Takes into account rich sensory learning environment, means pictures, colors, music, active participation in songs and games. Since the focus is psychological, which means the very purpose of this method is to help learner overcome psychological barrier towards the understanding and developing of a language. Positive expectation of success is considered vital on the part of the learner. Total physical response, introduced by Professor James Asher, who is a professor of psychology, which says there is a coordination between language and physical movement. Learner responds to command in target language, also considered as comprehension approach. Key features of this method include that it brings language to life. Since it's a physical response, therefore, it brings life to the language. Instant understanding of the target language. Since the learner has to comply or obeys the command given to him, sit down, stand up, therefore, there's an instant understanding of the target language. Information is retained in the mind of the learner, therefore it has long-term retention. Listening skill is more emphasized as the learner has to be very attentive to the commands to give the right output. It encourages stress-free process. To conclude, the structural, functional, and interactive views of the language follow particular learning methods specific to these views.